Welcome back. We are with Paula Burgess, and Paula Burgess is a VA superstar specialist business owner. And I actually use Paula's service at the moment with our social media. And for me, how it works is I like to save time, right? And I get we've got to do something. We have to do some part of the process. But if I can outsource some of the process, then it's going to free up my time to go and do something else. And so this is what I do. On a Monday, I go and create as much content as I can. I create a video, 10-minute video. I create all other parts of videos as well that I like to do. So I do something called the two Bobbies, and I do a new one called the two dinosaurs. So check that out on TikTok. And what I do then is I then upload that and then give it to him with Paula, and then they go and do all the legwork. So there's nothing worse than getting all this content ready for the week and then going, oh my God, now I've got to schedule it. I've got to upload it. I've got to do all these things. And I pass that on to Paula. And let me tell you, I've been doing this for about 3 weeks, that my website visits have increased by about 50% just by doing organic social media posts. So it definitely works. So Paula, thank you so much for providing this service. It really does help. But can you tell us and give us some other examples of how other people use your service?
Yeah, that's awesome that you're getting those results, Bobby, because it is all about that. It's about, having that social media presence. And we all know we don't have time to be on social media all the time. And if we do, we shouldn't, because, we're wasting time on there, because we all know we go down the rabbit hole of social media and waste way too much time on there. So the other things, examples of what we do, like answering phones is a huge one for us. Well, there's we've got a lot of sole practitioners out there that work solely on their own. They're in and out of appointments throughout the day. They just don't have phones. They don't have the time to answer phones. And I was chatting to someone today, and she was like, "Oh, I've got a great referral for you. It's a mobile masseur." I'm like, fantastic, because they are either on the road or in an appointment. And especially, massage therapists, if somebody doesn't get a massage therapist on the other end of the phone and they're a new client, they're just going to hang up and ring the next one on the list. So if they get somebody on the other end of the phone and we make that appointment for them then and there, they've got that client. So that's something, an example of what we do, and as a big part of helping business owners to be able to do what they do best, right? And then the other end of that scale is actually managing the entire office. So I was chatting to one of my financial advisors yesterday, and we're coming into his practice. We've been working with him for a while as a VA. Now we're coming into his practice to basically manage the entire practice and his offshore team, and obviously the VA that we've got here onshore as well. And we're going to be having strategy sessions with him, make sure his budget stays on track, help him with recruitment, put all the processes in place. So all that management, so he can just go out and run his business and do what he does best. So that's just sort of two opposite ends of the scale on how our business can help your business.
And outsourcing or just giving other people tasks, whether it's someone in the Philippines, in India, or you're employing someone, this is how we become, our businesses grow, how we get more time, and we can do anything we want with that time. Yes, it's going to cost us money for someone to go and do that. But when I speak to people about recruitment and hiring staff, I tell them that this person is going to free up. Yes, it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you, I don't know, say $80,000 a year, whatever the position is. And the idea is that you're going to go out there and do what you need to do to get that money, or to replace that the income that you need to get that person. And so you might want to go and get a salesperson, and that person in theory is going to pay for themselves. But we're not always at that level, and to have a service where we can just outsource stuff that it doesn't cost the earth. Hiring people in Australia is so expensive, and I own a recruitment business. I want you to come and use me, obviously, but it's so expensive. You've got to start somewhere. And I say this to clients, that sometimes having a VA is easier because you can work with that person at low cost. You can get processes and systems and in a place where it's organized. And so when you are ready to move on to employ someone, those things are ready in place. Do you see a lot of people using VAs in that way?
Absolutely. Yes. We just had a discussion with someone yesterday, and he was like, "But what if I outgrow you?" And I'm like, "That's awesome." Because we offer that sort of that medium, like you were saying. You don't always have, for example, with the phones, you want your phone answered from 8:30 to 5, but you may not have one, the workload, or two, the budget to put someone on 8:30 to 5 Monday to Friday. And if you get someone like us in to answer your phones, we can answer your phone 8:30 to 5, but we're only, it's costing you a small amount of what it might pay for someone at, 40, 50 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely. And then you get to the point, so your hands are then taken off doing that little sort of that day-to-day stuff where you're not having to come home at the end of your day and ring all of the people that you've missed, and half of them you probably won't get anyway. And that's just, this is just phone examples. But even if your charge out rate is like $100 to $150 an hour or $200 an hour or whatever, why are you doing something that you could charge, you could pay someone a lot less to do?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're focusing on doing the higher level stuff, then your business is going to grow, and then therefore you'll use us more. But then there is that point where it goes, okay, it is cheaper to get someone on internally, and that's when I send them to you, Bobby, and go, okay, now you need to recruit someone. Go and see Bobby. And then the beautiful part of that is we've put all the processes in place from the get-go. We've done everything, so we can train your new stuff. Remember, you don't have to worry about it because you just go, yep, this is the person I want. And we give them all the processes and help with the transition. So it's a nice, smooth transition for you.
And it just so happens we were talking about a program that helps us with our processes this morning, Paula, weren't we? What's the name of the program?
We were. It's an AI program called Tango. And you literally just do a process and it does the screenshot, and then it breaks it up in a step 1, do this, step 2, do this, la, 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 la. And it's so good.
It is really good. And that's enough about business. We'll come back and speak to Paula in a moment, but tell me your next 4 tracks.
Sure. Okay. So the next ones we've got on the list are Grease Lightning, and me being a bit of a girl racer, this has to be on the list, right? Love Shack by the B-52s, and Love in the First Degree by Bananarama, which is one that takes me right back to my teenage years. And Get Out of My Dreams and Get Into My Car by Billy Ocean. And of course, the car theme has to fit in there.
It does. You are car nuts, and no doubt that's going to come up in the conversation later on in the show, but we're going to leave you to listen and enjoy these 4 tracks. We'll see you soon.